Welcome back to another video, guys. In this video, I have an interesting property deal that I wanted to run through with you guys and show you what sort of opportunities are out there in the market and what you could really look for to make some serious money. So let's take this property here on 22 Bentley Crescent in Hoppers Crossing. When you look at this property on the photos, it has a very nice presentation, very nice property overall, nice interior, walls have been repainted, decent kitchen, nothing too spectacular, new carpets, nothing too extravagant, just a nice, neat property on 558 square meters of land. But the real potential in this property actually comes out when you look at the floor plan of this. And you can see it's a 3-bedroom by 1-bathroom property. All 3 bedrooms are decent sizes, 3.6 by 3.8 to etc. etc. And then when you look at the section over here, you can see there's a kitchen area, a meals area, a family. But the real interesting part is this study over here. You can see it's a 2.7 by 3 meter study room. And you can see this is where that study room exists. Now, what's really good about this study room is that you can actually see that it has a window over here. And it's actually in a little perfect corner where you can actually put a wall up just about where this X is that I'm marking and actually make this into a 4th bedroom. And it'll be a smaller 4th bedroom with only 3 meter by 2.7, but it has the potential to significantly uplift your property's value. And what I mean by that is when you look at Hoppers Crossing's data, you can see the median price is around $770,000. 3 bedrooms are around $650K, but 4 bedrooms are around $770,000, which means there's about $120,000 price discrepancy between a 3-bedroom property and a 4-bedroom property. Now, granted, you won't get the 770, for example, but it will still significantly increase the value of your property if you're able to put that wall in this section over here, right? And you also do have to close off this little doorway up here, or you can actually use that as the doorway to your actual bedroom as well. So there's actually a lot of potential with a property like this. Now, granted, there are some things you must consider. For example, you have this little beam over here, which is a little bit of a concern. If it is a load-bearing beam which is running across the ceiling, that could be supporting the roof or the ceiling actual load, which means you can't actually remove or modify that beam without an engineer's approval. So you might need to get a structural engineer out, have a look at that beam and actually assess whether it's a load-bearing beam or not. If it's not, it's a lot easier, and then you can get a stud wall up, a lightweight stud wall, and that will cost you around a couple of grand. If it is a structural beam, then it could cost you more, around that 5-6K mark, even a little bit more. But all up, it could cost you around $10,000 to put an extra wall up, a door, and make this into a 4th bedroom, which can really increase the value of your overall equity of your property to close to almost $100,000 extra. So there's a lot of value from that perspective. And so by actually putting a 4th bedroom here, you actually increase the equity straight away on your property, and you can make some really good money. But it's not only the extra 4th bedroom that you can put in here that makes this property so interesting. When you do look at this land, it's about 558 square meter block, but there's a lot of area and land actually in the back, which means you could potentially subdivide this property or put a granny flat on the back of here and actually increase the rental potential and rental income of your property. And you can see this property is around $640,000 value estimate. And so when you actually do a bit of a feasibility study, you can actually see that you can divide this block into 2 separate parts. One is a main block around 240 square meters of land, and the other one is another 242 square meters of land in the back if you wanted to go down the subdivision path. Now, if you do go down that subdivision path or a granny flat path, you may need to possibly look at removing the carport, or if there's a side access through the right hand side, then you can give access that way as well. But this space on the back actually allows you to have a huge improvement in value from adding a granny flat or actually subdividing the property and selling this piece of land at the back later down the track. You could even demolish this property and then build townhouses down here as well. But realistically, when I look at this property, the real value lies in the fact that you can add a 4th bedroom, obviously subject to a engineer's report if there is a structural beam, and then you can also subdivide or put a granny flat in the back of this property, which means there's a lot of money to be made out of a piece of land like this and a block like this. And that's why I wanted to raise your eyes about opportunities like this, because this is how you can make lots and lots of money without actually having to wait for capital growth. And so if you want to spot more opportunities like this or get advice on specific property deals, or you just want someone to run your eyes over another property that you're looking at, jump into the private community. We have over 300 members. It's $35 a month. It's an absolute no-brainer if you're serious about property investing. You don't want to make the wrong decision and buy the wrong property or the wrong asset it, you want to be making the right choices. And the first thing you do is by jumping in the private community and getting the help that you need. Till next time, thank you very much.